everybody, and welcome to Sarah's Kitchen. We are going to make chicken and asparagus in pan sauce. So while you're hopping on, as always, I am going to share in a few groups before we get started. And this recipe does require doing some stuff from my stovetop, so we're going to move around a little in my kitchen today, but I'm excited to have all of y'all join me. So if you feel like sharing this with any of your friends, then hit that little share button while I am doing the same, and then we will get started. Hope everyone's having a great week. The weather here has been gorgeous. I've been sitting outside on my back patio most of the day, and it has just been awesome. So I am glad you guys are hopping on. All right, I'm sharing in a couple more places, and we're gonna get started. And thank y'all for being patient with me while I share. Sharing is always caring, and I like for my hosts to get to see what we are doing in the kitchen. All right, I think we are good. So welcome guys. Hey Reagan, hey Angela, hey Lisa. We are making, and I pinned the recipe above, so when we're done, this is a Pampered Chef recipe. When this live is over, you can see the recipe, but it is called roasted chicken and asparagus with pan sauce. And I am, as always, going to modify a little. My main modification is adding some zucchini. So we are going to do this in the 12-inch stainless non-stick skillet. This is my favorite skillet, and then the grill pan and press is my second favorite piece of cookware. This had been sold out for a little while, but it is back. Hey Rachel, hey guys, welcome. So this 12-inch skillet is back. It does come with a lid. And the benefits of this, it's like cooking in stainless, because you see the outside stainless, but it's got a non-stick mesh, I don't know if I'd call it a coating, but non-stick mesh, so you get the best of both worlds. The easy cleanup of non-stick with the benefits of stainless. Hey Rebecca, hey Vicky, hey guys, welcome. So what I'm going to do, I'm just gonna set this on my stove top I'm using butter. The recipe calls for, you could do canola oil, but I'm going to do some Kerrygold butter that we will saute the chicken in. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put the butter in here before I take it to my stove top, and then we're gonna prep the chicken together. So like I said, if you're just hopping on, this recipe does require doing some stuff over at my stove top, so we're gonna kind of move around my kitchen today. Hopefully you guys will be able to see what I am working on. Give me some hearts if you can see this workspace, and then I'll ask you to do the same when we move over to my stove top. So, can y'all see me okay? All right, so all I did, a little bit of butter in here. I am going to use the splatter screen on top of the skillet once I put the chicken in here. So for now, I'm just gonna take this over to my stove top, turn the heat on a medium low to let the butter melt while we prep the chicken. So I will be right back. All right, so that is over at my stovetop, letting the butter melt, and now we are going to prep our chicken breast. The recipe calls for chicken thighs. My preference is chicken breast, so that is what we are going to use. And these are just from Aldi, but they are pretty thick. So instead of 3 pieces of chicken for this recipe, we're gonna end up with 6 because we're gonna use the closing cut to slice these in half. Let me push y'all back a little so you can y'all see my workspace, I hope? So I use this closing cut on quite a few things: chicken, pork chops, uncut bagels. In a minute, we will also use it on some tomatoes. But all you're gonna do is put your piece of meat in here. It's spring-loaded, both at the top and the bottom. So you close it and push down. Use at least an 8-inch knife, just so it's long enough to go from side to side. Put your knife at the edge, make sure your fingers stay out of the way, and then just do kind of a sawing motion back and forth until you hit the back of the close and cut, and that's when you know you have gone all the way through your bagel, your meat, whatever it is you're slicing. And I'm just using a flexible cutting mat under here so that I can lay the chicken out and we can season it right here on this cutting mat. So we're gonna do that for the other two pieces. And the great thing is I only had to buy one package of chicken. Oops, I'm not lined up, hold on. I only had to buy one package of chicken, but I'll end up with 6 pieces. So we will each get a piece. This is not working on this one. Facebook Live, you know, at its best. We will end up with 6 pieces of meat out of this package of 3. All right, there we go. That one was being a little finicky just because it was thick at the end and not at the other end. So we'll have a baby piece. All right, and then we'll do our third one. Can y'all see? My cutting mat's sliding all over the place. So just slide back and forth till we get to the end. And there are our 2 pieces. So we do have one baby piece. And I am going to need to wash this because we're going to use it for tomatoes. So we will do that in just a second. But for now, we're going to season our meat. And the recipe calls for using, let me wash my hands because I've got chicken all over them. Hold on. I don't want to touch my seasoning with all that chicken juice on them. Okay, so this recipe calls for using Dijon mustard rub. You could also use just Dijon mustard and that would work perfectly fine. But I'm going to sprinkle some Dijon mustard rub on here on all of my little pieces. I have 5 good pieces and 1 baby piece from that one chicken breast that was a little thinner than the rest. And I'm also going to use some of my favorite seasoning, the Himalayan pink salt. Hey Lauren, hey Sharon, welcome guys, hey Taylor. If y'all are just hopping on, share with me what you're having for dinner so I can see if the comments are showing up. We are having chicken and asparagus in pan sauce. All right, so what I'm gonna do, my 12-inch stainless steel skillet, the butter is melted, I can hear it over there. Hey Amy, I'm going to go put this in the skillet. I'm going to do it face down so I can season the other side, and then we're going to prep all the other vegetables we need to go with this. We'll do that here, and then I'll take you over to my stovetop. So y'all be commenting what you're having for dinner tonight while I put this chicken in my skillet. I'm going to be strategic with carrying this. I'll be right back. I hope everyone's having a great day. I'm literally just putting these pieces of chicken down in the skillet. And then getting rid of that flexible mat. All right. Camera person so that they can follow me in the kitchen. I just use a little tripod. Hey Kathy. All right, someone comment what you're having for dinner so I can see if it's showing comments tonight. I hope everyone's doing well. All right, so the other ingredients that we're going to have in this are some mushrooms, some asparagus. I'm adding zucchini, it doesn't call for that. Some Roma tomatoes, some garlic, a little bit of onion. So let me get my favorite knife. A 5-inch Santuco knife. We are going to prep the onion. If you're not using the entire onion, then leave the root end on it and the onion will stay fresh a little bit longer. We're going to pretty much use most of this onion. And I am actually going to chop mine up in the manual food processor because I like the flavor of onion in what I cook, but I don't like real big pieces of onion. So I'm just gonna pre-prep, and then I'm gonna go grab my manual food processor. If you have the food chopper, you could use that. Hey, we have another Rachel. Welcome, guys. Let me grab my manual processor. for this is pinned at the top. So when we end this live, you guys will be able to see the recipe. So all I'm gonna do is put my onion pieces. I'm probably putting way too much in here. It's all right. And then I'm just going to process it. If you want sliced onions, just don't do this. Just slice it however you want. I want mine to be more finely chopped. I love the flavor of onion, and if they're small, it doesn't bother me. But if they're great big pieces, I don't like that. All right, so we've got our onion. I don't know if y'all can hear the chicken in the background, and I'll take you over there in just a little bit. All right, to this, we are going to do a few cloves of garlic. So using the garlic press. Yes, I have 2 unmarried sons. One of them is hiking right now, and the other, I'm not sure where he is. Are you asking because they could be my camera people? The only thing is then they'll make faces at me, and they'll throw me off. It's okay. It's all right. It's all right. All right, so we are crushing about 4 cloves of garlic into the onion mixture. If you guys don't cook with fresh garlic, you're really missing out. What did I just do with that piece? Uh-oh, run away. Did y'all see where it just bounced? As long as it's not in my onion, we're good. And I don't see it, so it's not, but I don't know where it just bounced to. Oh, here it is. Found it. All right, so you put the garlic in here with the peel, and it minces it or crushes it through the peel. So I don't have to touch the garlic. I don't have to smell like garlic. It's phenomenal. All right, we gotta, this is where I'm not Facebook savvy, but we need to block that person. All right, so we've got onion and garlic in here. And then we're going to get our mushrooms ready. So I rinsed these earlier today, and we're going to use the quick slice. Surprise, surprise to all of y'all. We're going to use the quick slice to slice these mushrooms. And I'm actually going to do one set of them, and then I'm going to go flip our meat over. All we have to do is flip it to the other side. Hey, Patrice, welcome. All right, let me go flip our meat, so I'll be right back. All right, and then we're gonna finish slicing up our mushrooms. The goal is not to completely cook the chicken because this recipe is actually gonna go in the oven as well. So it will finish cooking in the oven. Hey Deidre, welcome guys. Thanks for hopping on and cooking with me tonight. We are making chicken and asparagus in pan sauce. So we've got our chicken going. We've got our mushrooms sliced up. And we have our onion and garlic. The other thing we're gonna prepare while the chicken finishes, we need some asparagus. Ooh, got lots of stuff going on over here. So I am going to just cut off the ends of the asparagus, a little trick that you could also do, but I'm gonna cut the ends, break it, and wherever it snaps, this is the good part of the asparagus, and then you can throw the rest away. For time's sake, I am just gonna guesstimate and kind of cut off the ends of my asparagus just because I want to be a little bit quicker for y'all. And this is just one package of asparagus that I pre-washed before coming live. If you don't like asparagus, you know, substitute other vegetables that you do like. My kids aren't crazy about asparagus, but they can pick around this. I myself love asparagus, so it's going in there because I'm the one cooking. Hey Jess, hey Grace, welcome guys. We are making dinner. We've got some chicken sauteing in our 12-inch non-stick stainless skillet, and we're prepping the rest of the vegetables. And in a minute, I'm going to take you over to the stove top for you to watch how you make the pan sauce. All right, so I'm going to chop the asparagus into smaller pieces just because I want it to be a little more bite-sized. And yes, I'm making a big old mess. This is typical Sarah cooking. All right, so we're going to pour this all in the batter bowl because we need that in a little while. I'm adding zucchini. It doesn't call for zucchini, but we are going to have it because zucchini is another favorite of mine. And I'm also going to use the quick slice on this. So we are just going to slice it in half again, and then in quarters, so that it's not, you know, hidden in the recipe, but it will cook evenly because it's a little bit smaller. So again, quick slice, slice this through it really quick. We'll dump this into our bowl. Hope everyone's doing okay. I'm about to take you over to my stovetop because we've got to take the chicken out. All right, so we've got zucchini and asparagus in here. We've got our mushrooms and onions that we're about to take over to the stovetop, and then we'll slice the tomatoes in just a second. So let me take you over to my stovetop. Hey, Donna. Yes, zucchini is great in everything. All right, can y'all see? I think you can see my skillet. So we've got our chicken in here, and I'm actually going to take it off the heat because you don't want it cooking all the way through. So let me grab a plate. And I kept the splatter screen on here so it doesn't make a humongous mess on my stovetop. Y'all give me thumbs up if you can see this stovetop. I know you can't see down in the pan. All right, so here is our chicken. Does that not look amazing? It smells amazing. And let me show, I do want to show you the pan. I gotta be careful because it's hot. So, in here, this is why you cook in stainless. All that brown stuff is called fond, F-O-N-D. And that is going to add lots of great flavor. Hey Janice, hey Kevin, hey Debbie. That's gonna add lots of great flavor to this recipe. And what I'm gonna do right now is add the onion and garlic and let that start sauteing, and it is going to naturally lift off that fond from the bottom of the pan. So we've got our, I did mine really pretty small, but we've got our onion and garlic going down into the pan. I hope y'all can see me. Give me hearts. I keep not looking when I ask y'all to give me hearts. And I'm still leaving this splatter screen on so it doesn't splatter too much. Hey Selena, you should share this recipe into your group. I haven't gotten a chance to set up your party group yet, otherwise we could have shared it into there. And I'm using one of our teak spatulas that I love. It does not damage my cookware, but it also helps lift that fond off the bottom. Let me go grab our mushrooms. All right, so now, and I need my recipe because I haven't made this a ton. We are going to, we need to put the mushrooms in here, and while we let this saute a little, we are going to work on our tomatoes. All right, and I probably don't need the splatter screen anymore, so now maybe y'all can see. So we're just letting our mushrooms and onions saute. And I've got it on a pretty low heat. Our cookware is great about distributing the heat, so you don't need to cook on a high setting. All right, so let me go grab our tomatoes. We'll do those over here on this cutting mat. And I had just used our Easy Read measuring colander to rinse them because you just can let the water drain through it, and then I set them on the counter. I need to wash our closing cut. So y'all keep an eye on the skillet and make sure it doesn't burn while I'm rinsing and washing this off real quick. Okay, here we go. And technically it probably doesn't matter if I clean off this closing cut because the tomatoes are all going to be cooked. So even though it had raw chicken on here, it's going in the oven, it's going to cook. But I just like to rinse off all the chicken juice. All right, so what we're going to do, and think about grapes or olives, these little tomatoes, anything kind of small. Instead of me trying to individually slice these tomatoes in half, and this was just 1 pint, we are going to use the closing cut and let it do the job for me. So what I'm going to do, and I'm doing this sideways so that, can y'all see me? If you're not a fan of asparagus, you can use the whole, well, yeah, that's a great idea, green beans instead of asparagus. Very good. Thanks, Donna. All right, so same as the chicken, just close it, use your knife, go till you get to the back, and now all of my tomatoes are sliced in half. So this is great if you're doing grapes, tomatoes, olives, and I'm just going to dump it into my bowl with my other veggies. And then we have one more group that we need to probably do. We're just going to close that, slice them, and look how quick that was. You can get the closing cut as a set with this color-coded knife, or you can buy it individual. It doesn't really matter. It's sold both ways. All right, so we've got our onions, garlic, and mushroom sauteing. Let me cheat and look at the recipe. Now we need to add lemon juice, cooking wine, and a little more rub. If you did not want to use white cooking wine, you could use chicken broth, or if you have an open bottle of white wine, you could also use that. We need 1/3 of a cup, and I'm using the Easy Read measuring cup, and hopefully y'all can see this, but that way I can pour in here, look from above, and I know that I have the right amount of liquid. Hey Becky, hey guys. So all I'm going to do is add this to my skillet, and this is what's going to help make the sauce. And then we also need half of a lemon. Y'all, look how big this lemon is. Like, I don't know, I got it at Aldi. They look beautiful, but they're huge. I don't know. All right, so we need half of a lemon that we're going to do with the citrus press because actually, let's do the other side. Maybe it'll fit in there better. Not really. It's huge, guys. Yeah, let's do it face up. So we are just going to squeeze that lemon juice into our skillet. So we've got, and it got all the juice. If you don't have the citrus press, it is a must-have. Lemons, limes, oranges, anything like that. So what we're going to do, we're going to let this simmer for a few minutes just for the sauce to thicken up. I hope y'all can see. Can y'all see? Let me show you. Look at that. Does that not look amazing? We are going to add some more Dijon mustard. We need about a tablespoon. So let me get my measuring. Usually I don't measure, but we'll measure. All right, I love these snap together measuring spoons because they fit down in the jar. Give me thumbs up if y'all can see everything. I know I keep saying that, but it's so hard for me to see if you can see, and I don't want to waste your time. And I hope everyone's having a good day. All right, so we did a tablespoon of Dijon mustard rub. If you don't have Dijon mustard rub, then just use Dijon mustard. That will work the same. I did a little pink Himalayan salt. We're going to do a little pepper. We are going to blend in And I'm actually probably going to switch to a scraper in a minute. Maybe not. We're going to blend all the seasoning in. I wish there was smell vision so y'all could smell my kitchen, because it smells divine. Now I have to confess, I'm not a huge mushroom person, but I've made this recipe leaving them out, and it did not have as good of a flavor. So I will end up picking around the mushrooms and giving them to my husband most likely. That way he'll have more mushrooms. He doesn't like zucchini, so he will probably give me the zucchini. And the kids will mostly eat the chicken. They do like zucchini, they like tomatoes. So, I mean, there's plenty that they will eat. I am also fixing just a very basic salad to go with this. All right, let me cheat and look. Okay, so now we need to add back in our vegetables. We are just going to pour, and I'm going to turn the heat off because I don't need the heat on anymore. This is going to be extremely full. That is okay. There are 4 of us. 2 of the boys, well, my husband as well. I'm going to switch to a scraper. The boys eat enough for probably 3 people. And I want to have leftovers. So for myself, I love making extra so that I can have this for lunch this weekend or tomorrow. All right, so I'm just kind of mixing the mushrooms and the sauce all with it. And all we're going to do now is add our chicken back on top. And there's a little bit of juice on this plate, so that juice is going down in there, because I am not going to waste any of that. Let that go in there. And we are going to pop this in the oven. I've preheated my oven to 425. Yes, the cookware can go in the oven. So we are going to pop this. Y'all see it? Pop this in the oven for about 12 minutes, 12 to 15 minutes. That's going to cook the rest of the chicken. It's going to cook the asparagus and the zucchini. It will also cook the tomatoes a little bit. And then, so let me go ahead and pop it in the oven. Like I said, 425. I'm going to do 12 minutes, and then I can check the oven when it's done. So we're going to let that cook. I'll do a side salad to go with it, and then dinner will be done. So this is a 1 skillet meal, but you've got tons of great veggies. You've got your chicken. You really probably could substitute the meat. And if you wanted to do it with shrimp, it probably would be good with shrimp. Or maybe if you wanted to do pork chops. I have always just done it with chicken because it is really, really tasty. This has been a long time since I've made this recipe. So this morning I was trying to think of something to do and came across it in my little binder, and I was like, oh yeah, we totally need to make that. It's super easy, super quick. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this. I did pin the recipe above, so as soon as I finish this live, you'll be able to see the link to the recipe. The only modification I made was adding some zucchini to it. You don't have to do that. Like Donna had mentioned, if you don't like asparagus, substitute green beans. Really, you could do lots of substitutions. You could even probably put broccoli in here, you know, whatever you want. But it's a very healthy meal, but very flavorful and really pretty quick to do, because you guys saw it truly from start to finish. The only thing I did before coming live was wash all the vegetables, and that was it. So I will take a picture of it when it's done. If you guys have questions, let me know. If there's anything you need, let me know that as well. If you're interested in hosting a virtual party and earning lots of free and discounted products, you know where to find me. For those that are invited to parties, if you're watching this, have fun shopping with your host. And be sure and let me know if you have questions on those parties. I hope everyone has a really, really good Thursday evening. I probably won't be live again until next week. So I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Next week's going to be a little crazy because my middle child does get to graduate on Tuesday. So super excited about that. So it may be later in the week before I come back live. But I am always always around if you have questions, so feel free to private message me or reach out to me. And thank you guys for joining me in my kitchen. I hope you have enjoyed cooking with Sarah tonight, and I will post a picture of this recipe when it's done. Bye, guys.